Oh, sorry. I jumped the
You're
gun.
live.
Okay, I'm going to call this meeting to order. If everyone can stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Ralph, would you like to do roll call, please?
Yes. Commissioner Domenick,
I am here.
Commissioner Chermak,
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Sacco,
Present.
Mrs. Gatto,
Here.
Mayor Jellick,
Present.
and Mr. Tobin.
Present.
Okay. Number 3, opportunity for the public to address the board on agenda items only. Anything?
No, again, the public had until 9 o'clock this morning to submit anything, and I did not receive anything.
Okay. Agenda item number 4, presentation of the minutes for approval from the meeting held on September 13th, 2023. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
The only thing I noticed on the minutes was it said that Brenda was excused, but she was actually on.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I was there. I think I was on a discussion. I don't think I was at the meeting, though.
No?
No, I think we had another discussion that I was.
Yeah, they were.
Oh, sure. Okay, I got it. Yep, I'm sorry. I apologize.
That's okay.
And I don't think I was there, Ralph, right? That's when my son was sick?
Right.
Yeah, Commissioner Chermak oversaw that meeting.
Okay. All right, so do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
So Chris and I do that constantly at the
second.
Board of Commissioners meeting. So you have a second? Okay. On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm going to abstain due to my absence from the meeting on September 13th. Brenda, will you be voting or abstaining?
Abstaining.
Okay. Presentation of vouchers for examination and approval from September 14th through October 11th. This year is flying by. 2023. Just give me a minute here. Nothing is stapled as usual. They are, here they are. Okay, there's only 2 expenses, $1,500 in the amount of $1,500 to Joseph Calbasani for legal services rendered from July 15th to August 15th, and $214.50 to the Lackawanna County Recorder of Deeds. Do I have a motion to approve these vouchers?
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Agenda item number 6, bid openings if necessary.
We do not have any bid openings for today's meeting.
Okay. Next, agenda item number 7, discussion items, subsection A, land bank property disposition update.
Okay. To date, the land bank has conveyed 296 properties countywide. In the city of Scranton, we have conveyed 219 properties, and we have about 8 properties pending, and then 1 property will be acted on at today's meeting. Just to break down for anybody that's watching, it's West Scranton, we have 69 properties conveyed, South Scranton, 59 properties conveyed, North Scranton, 47 properties conveyed, in the Greenridge section, 21 properties conveyed, East Scranton, 11 properties conveyed. We have conveyed 3 properties to the city of Scranton, 3 properties to United Neighborhood Community Corporation, Community Development Corporation, 5 properties to Scranton Lackawanna Resource Development Corporation, 1 to the Ronald McDonald House, 48 properties in Covington Townships have been conveyed, 1 property is pending. Carbondale City, 14 properties conveyed. Vandaling, 1 property conveyed. Feld Township, 1 property conveyed with 2 properties pending. Troopboro, 1 property conveyed. Scott Township, 4 properties conveyed with 1 property pending. Thornhurst Township, 3 properties conveyed, 1 property pending. Jefferson Township, 1 property conveyed. Dunmore Borough, 2 properties conveyed, and Archibald Borough, 1 property conveyed.
Ralph,
Yes.
Carbondale City, you said 14?
Did I say 14? It's 15. Sorry about that.
Okay. Moving on to subsection B, blight task force update.
Okay, Jesse isn't able to be with us today, but I just want to bring everyone up to date. You know, we acquired 2 properties at the judicial sale, but we just recently got the deeds to those properties, so we were able to get into them. I think we knew right off the bat, you know, I mean, this is in collaboration with NeighborWorks and their West Side revitalization program. I think we knew right off the bat that the property at 1830 Price Street would have to come down. So, and NeighborWorks, you know, they do have the money to bring that, to take that down. The other property, we thought we would be able to rehab that maybe for a first-time home buyer, but once we got in there, I think it's gone beyond repair. I mean, NeighborWorks had their construction manager with them, and it would just take too much money, and it's on such a small lot that I don't think it would really be worth it. I mean, we had a discussion, you know, with Brenda, you know, because Brenda, I guess we do have some money for some first-time home buyer program, but we just don't think this would be worth it. Okay, and on a side note on all of this, you know, what we paid, as you know, we have the preemptive bid at the judicial sale, but we don't pay transfer tax. So we recently got a check from the county treasurer's office that reimbursed us those costs. So we paid for 1830 Price Street, we paid $7,413.08, and we were reimbursed $3,836.90 because of the transfer tax. At 610 Hampton, we paid $5,325.83, and we got reimbursed $2,257, again, because of the transfer tax. So that's what we paid. But right now, we are going to be working with NeighborWorks on the demolition of that 610 Hampton Street property. I don't know if they have demolition funds for that one, but we're going to work together and with the city to see if we can all work together to get that one taken down too. Does anybody have any questions on that? And as it proceeds, you know, we will definitely make the board aware of what's going on.
Yeah, and I was part of that discussion with Ralph and Jesse, and so I agree as well with, you know, doing the demolitions, and then at that point we can work with NeighborWorks to decide what we would like to do with those properties once they are demoed.
Okay. I have no questions. Let's move on to subsection C, which is 524 3rd Avenue in Scranton, subdivision of property.
Yeah, I believe everyone has the backup information. We sent a certified letter to our attorney Kobasani, sent a certified letter to the 2 applicants for this property, and both agreed that they want to subdivide the property with each taking half the property. So, you know, moving forward, we're going to have to, you know, work with, get a couple of prices for this subdivision. Also, we have to apply to the city of Scranton for the subdivision, and you know, once that's complete, each property owner would pay $150, which is the side lot cost, plus splitting the cost of whatever the subdivision was. Okay. So I believe.
Ralph, the land bank is doing the subdivision.
I think at this point that would probably be the better thing to do.
No, we're going to get reimbursed.
Right.
But if we let them do it, it'll never. I just think it's more practical if we take the bull by the horns and get it started. But we're gonna do a motion today to incorporate this course of action to approve the subdivision. And maybe Ralph, could you go over with a proposed letter that you have that's basically the nuts and bolts of our motion?
Well, I'm just going to send a letter out to both applicants telling them that, the board will be approving this subdivision and each will be paying $150 for each part, and you will be splitting the cost of whatever the costs are involved with the subdivision.
I know that
Do we know what the cost? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go on, Deb.
I was just gonna say, do you know the cost of the approximate cost so that we can let them know that?
No, we don't yet, but I mean, considering what the two property owners bid, it's going to be much more than, much less than what they originally bid for.
Well, I always think I'm thinking like a lawyer. I'm thinking, we don't tell them the approximate cost. We send it to them. We pay the cost. Then they say, oh, I can't afford that. And then it's just another issue. So I always think giving them an estimate is better than nothing, but I'm not acting as a lawyer here, as I'm constantly reminded I am a commissioner. So I will let Attorney Kobasani, tell me what he thinks.
We could refer it to a couple of surveyors first and get a price and then let them know. But we want to, basically what we're doing today is a motion to get that process started.
And Counselor, don't we have to also, if we're going to subdivide it, prepare 2 new deeds?
Yeah, I'll do that once the measurements are given to me. We can't do it yet.
Do we need to have an agreement? Because what happens if we subdivide and they decide they don't want to do that, and now we've subdivided the property, and how can we hold them to take the half? Do we have to have an agreement that they sign potentially with those estimated costs?
Well,
I agree with that. And I would also, let's talk this through. So let's say that happened. We subdivided it. What would happen is that we would be out of costs, right? And then if we had to make it so let's just say we subdivided it and then one of them backed out or whatever. So then what do you need to do to make a subdivided property whole again? Do you have to do another process? Which additional fees?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sure
in
you
my
would.
opinion, and again, Joe, you're the attorney of record here, so I'll leave it to you. But in my opinion, I think there should be an agreement stating that they are responsible for the costs associated with the subdivision, and in the event that they, back out, but obviously you'll make it sound much more eloquent.
Ralph,
that they would also be responsible for the costs to unsub,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Make the property one again. And I also think asking them to pay a certain amount up front wouldn't hurt either. That's my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is it possible to escrow funds for the subdivision so that we know that it's going to be paid for? Are the checks that they gave for the bid returned?
Not yet.
Right. So we're sitting on that $9,000 for any costs that we would, get through the subdivision. And then we could just, fairly distribute the fees based on what they contributed after costs, correct?
I would agree with that. Is in like
but then even if they paid for it, if they paid for the costs, I don't know what the costs are. So I don't know. Maybe they're relatively low and they pay for the costs and then they decide they don't want it. Then we have a subdivided property that we would probably have to unsub. I don't know what the word. What word am I looking for?
I think they'd have to make
Unsub-
us whole again.
Yes,
it whole again, right?
subdivide. I don't know why I can't get it out, but you know what I'm saying. So I think that they should then be liable for those
All right,
costs.
well, Ralph and I could put together a memorandum of understanding with the
I
people and
apologize for
us.
my lack of ability to speak this morning. But yes, I think that would be a memorandum of understanding is right on point. Yes, I agree.
Okay, and we'll put something together and we'll take it one step at a time. Today, we just want to get the board to make a motion to put this process into motion so we can get started on this. That's all. I mean, I don't have any idea what the survey, what they charge for a subdivision. I did one years and years ago, but it was like 1,500 or something like that for everything.
Yeah, it's going to be nowhere near the $9,000 we're currently holding, roughly, that they gave us.
Right. So when we do our motion, we'll include in the motion that will move the process forward and that we will have a memorandum of understanding in place to move that process, if that's
okay.
Thank you.
If you want to make a motion?
I'll
make that motion.
I'll second.
On the question,
Aye.
just to be clear, we're making the motion to move forward with the subdivision. Correct?
Yes.
Correct.
memorandum of understanding.
With the memorandum of understanding, addressing the issues that we just discussed. Okay. Any nays? Okay. The yeas have it. It's passed. Anything else on that, Ralph?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, next one, cancellation request of property purchase, Bald Eagle Lane, S7-709 in Covington Township.
Yeah, I submitted some of the backup information again for the boards. We more or less tabled it at the last meeting. Again, I did get a voicemail from Mr. Valentine Horvath, just asking what the status was. I did tell him that they're going to be discussed again at today's meeting. Again, this went all the way through to right up to sending him the deed of the property, and that's when he got back to us and said that that's not the property that he wanted. We took it into the land bank, so we now own that property up at Eagle Lake. I don't know how easy it would be to sell it. I don't know what condition it is or what, but there has to be some reason why he, after he saw that, what it looked like, that he doesn't want it now. He thought it was a different lot. So, I don't know.
Well, could I interject here? He apparently had his sister go look at the lot for him. He never went up to look at it himself.
Well, who buys anything without having looked at it? That's
I'm going to get to that.
I mean, good Lord.
Right. This is clearly what they call Debbie, if you remember from law school, a unilateral mistake. Okay. And he didn't.
I have another word for it, but I'll go with yours.
All right. I had to go do some research. It was like going back to law school, first year contracts. Anyway, we didn't participate in the unilateral mistake. We had nothing to do with it. We didn't contribute to it. In my opinion, from what I read, the contract stands. And now Ralph did find out that the association would not assess us those fees that they're charging up there, but then we're stuck with it. I mean, do you go buy a car and you don't go look at it?
Not only that, solicitor and members, we've already expended monies in this transfer. We had to pay a fee to get it out of the land bank or the repository, and we had to prepare a deed, which I'm sure was, costly.
Purchase
then he's
agreement.
asking for his $1,500 back. There's something
Not to
wrong
mention,
here.
isn't this stuff addressed in all the documentation that we have?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm of the opinion it has to go. I mean, we should just transfer the deed. We have everything ready to go, and that's his problem. You don't go look at it. That's not a valid excuse.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
Plus, we set a precedent if we do that. I agree that
Yep.
he was well aware what he was purchasing. We followed all of our procedures, and unfortunately, that's not our mistake.
Yeah, it's a unilateral mistake by him, not
Correct.
us.
Correct.
So what had happened was, this all occurred after I sent the deed to him. We usually send out the deed so that they can verify the precise address where the tax bills will go. And that's when he decided that when he looked at, the map that I enclose all the time, that's not the one he wanted. So we don't really need his signature on that deed. We know what his address is. I mean, and where the tax bills will go. So, right, Joe?
Yeah, we can verify the precise address of the grantee. It doesn't always have to be the buyer that signs that. And that's the important part of the deed was the signature of the chairman, and that being notarized. It's ready to go. I mean, that's not a legal excuse for rescinding the deal. Plus, like you said, we'd be stuck with it and with no guarantee that we're ever going to be able to sell it. I mean, that's on him to look at the land. I mean,
Okay, so, are we just talking about it now? Or are we making a motion of this?
a motion to, I guess we'd be making a motion to reject the cancellation request.
I'll make that motion.
I'll
I'll
second.
second it.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, the ayes have it. Letter E, Advisory Committee, Property Acquisition, Disposition Discussion. Ralph.
Okay, a little different from last meeting. I think we had 10 or 11, and this meeting we only have the one property, a side lot. Address at 724 Einan Street in Scranton. It was a side lot application we received from Dennis and Kelly DeAugustine. They own the property, the vacant lot right next to this property, and just want to extend it and eventually possibly build a house on this property. So there were no other additional applications received, and they submitted an offer of $150 for this property under the side lot program. That's it. That's the only one today. So I guess if you want to just proceed with the.
Commissioner, you're on mute.
I'm sorry, I was running my shredder and it's very loud. So I muted myself. I apologize. Any questions before we move on to agenda item 8 with new action items? Okay, new business, resolution number 23-033, approving the acquisition of additional property from the tax claim office repository list of unsold property. And give me just 1 second here. Where shall that be? Okay, this is the property located at 724 Einan Street in Scranton. Is that correct, Ralph?
Yes.
Okay, and do I have a motion to approve this resolution?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Okay.
On the
Second.
question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 23-034, approving the conveyance of certain land bank owned property under the side lot purchase program. Again, the address is 724 Einan Street in Scranton. The price is $150. The purchasers are Dennis and Kelly DeAugustine, who currently reside at 717 Hampton Street in Scranton. Do I have a motion to approve this resolution?
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Number 9, opportunity for the public to address the board. Anything?
Again, the public had until 9 o'clock this morning to submit anything, and I did not receive anything.
Directors, other business. Anybody have anything?
But by the way, we are approaching our 300 property transition, which I feel there should be some kind of recognition for the land bank, just to let the public know what a good job they're doing.
Do you have anything in mind? I agree with you.
I thought maybe getting the group together for a picture with a copy of the deed.
Okay.
Good idea.
Yeah, that
Well, let me
works.
ask you this. What number are we at now?
296.
Will
So-
we be at 300 by the next meeting?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well
Do you
over.
want to, I mean, we could do either, just meet like he indicated, or at the next meeting, November 8th, if we want to do this meeting in person, we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay, I guess we can, talk.
All right, so the next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, November 8th at 11 a.m. And I want to make sure I don't have a Board of Commissioners meeting. I don't. My Board of Commissioners meeting is November 1st. So I do believe that the conference room on the 5th floor will be open. But if for some reason it is not, my conference room is clean and quite large. We can always use that on the 6th floor for the land bank meeting, and we'll do it in person. Is everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Does it have to be televised?
Yeah. I mean, we have to televise all these, don't we? Go live?
Yeah, I think we do.
We
So
don't
we'll
have
have
to
to have-
televise, we don't have to televise the picture.
No, but if we have a
No.
meeting, we have to have ECTV on board if
Oh,
if
yeah.
it's not
yeah.
Zoom.
Right. So, I mean, but they don't take up much space. You know that, Chris. So, I mean, we can do it.
No, it's just we need to tell them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah. So,
I
Ralph,
just
you'll
talked,
take care of that.
yeah, I
and-
just,
and- And
yeah.
just reserve it. Call Tracy Hart and let her know that we'll be ask her if there's anybody in the 5th floor conference room. And like I said, if worse comes to worse, we can always do it in my conference room on the 6th floor.
Okay.
We don't need to do a motion to have the hearing moved from virtual to in person, do we?
No.
I don't think so, because the statute was amended. It gives us the option to do either.
We would
So I
just,
can only see your eyeglasses. It's hysterical.
Well, I'm using my phone.
There
He didn't want to
are.
make a spectacle of himself.
Yeah.
That was nice. That was nice. Okay, well
no,
then.
what I would,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
yeah, what I would have to do is really just put it on our website that we will be meeting in person. That's all we have to do. Okay.
Okay, and then just again, somebody notify the cameraman and somebody notify call Tracy Hart or whoever it is that keeps track of what goes on that 5th floor.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
if no one has anything else, I will take a motion for adjournment.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.